Hi there, this is woon.heng. Today, let's make a delicious vegetable dumpling, Jiao Zi, from scratch. First, we'll start with the wrapper, and I'm using all-purpose flour and added a pinch of salt. Using room temperature water, mix until there are no dry spots of flour in the bowl and let it rest for 10 minutes. Using room temperature water with just a little less than 50% ratio to the flour volume will have a stiff dough, but this 10-minute break will relax the gluten so you don't have to work so hard on the kneading to get a smooth top. Let the dough rest again while you work on the filling. To keep things simple, I like to stir fry all the ingredients together so you don't really need to chop them nicely, and I hope this step will save you time too. I prefer my cabbage with a crunch, so I quickly toss it and then season. You also want your filling to remain moist but not wet, so if you have leftover sauces in the pan, keep it for the next dish and only sieve the vegetables into the food processor. Pulse it a few times to get a coarse mixture or just small enough to hold together. Now let's assemble. See how soft the dough is? Give it a few more kneads, and I like to roll it out into a long rope first before dividing it into portions. This recipe yields about 20 or 25 pieces depending on how large you want your dumplings to be. And the larger the dumpling is, the more filling you can put into, but you probably have to cook them in few batches, especially if you don't have a large pot. The dough is meant to have a great chew because of the water temperature, which is great for boiled or steamed dumplings. Also, it's always easier to roll out the dough into discs if you adjust each dough to either a circle or a ball first. Similar to any other of my dough recipe, I always work with one dough at a time and cover the rest to prevent them from drying out. You don't need to add too much flour while rolling it out because the dough is already soft and not sticky at all. But if I roll out on a work surface that's not silicone layered or granite, I do sometimes dust some flour on it. If you want to store the wrapper now, then you'll need to coat both sides with cornstarch and not flour. I do highly recommend that you use the wrapper the day you make it rather than later, but if you want to store this, wrap them up then freeze. You'll notice that it's easier to pleat using homemade dough because it's soft, and once you fill it up, seal them tightly and make sure to press out the air bubbles so the filling is intact. I made a simple pleat and squeeze it together to create this cute shape. Look at how plump it is. It's going to have a juicy filling when cooked. You can freeze the dumplings at this point or cook them now. The sauce is as simple as soy sauce, Chinese black vinegar, sugar, pepper, toasted sesame oil, and I like to finish it off with some chili oil later. To cook the dumplings, you always use boiling water. Add just enough dumplings in the pot, don't overcrowd, boil until they float up and let them stay afloat for a minute or two before removing them. Look at this perfect boiled vegetable dumplings, Jiao Zi, that we just made. Add the prep sauce, a splash of chili oil, or skip it if you don't like the spice. Garnish with toasted sesame seed and cilantro. Can't wait to have a bite. Yum! I hope you give this dish a try. Don't forget to like and turn on the notifications so you won't miss my new video. Have a great day. Bye!